separate them. So you know, I would make two boxes for these ones here, because I'm not the type of guy that works this profile out very well. So again, we take our gradient tool right here, and you know, you can change the colors or anything actually you want. You have to look for the colors you like the most or something else. But what I'm going to do now, we take our brushes again, but what we can make is we just gonna get some blue. So you see, I wouldn't take that much of it, you know, just 4 times, but so we can get another color in this. I don't know if it looks good, I'm just hoping. So again, we take the red thing for our pencil to, oops, have to change it here with these two arrows. You can change your background color to your foreground color and your foreground color to your background color. So what I'm going to do now is, again, I make some brushes with this brush red and here's some yellow. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going again to filters. Then I'm going to do this again on blur, motion blur. But this time I'm not going to do it on radial. This time I'm going to do a zoom. So this looks different. Here we can actually make the size. I would prefer make it longer, because to make it a better size, because I don't want to see the brush, so the different brushes. So let's say that this is okay. And I'm going to show you another interesting thing. So what I just did here is I wanted to do this all on one layer. So I thought I could do this. That was also the first mistake I made actually, because I thought, I saw different sorts of tutorials, because I wanted to know how they actually handle the thing with the layers, and they just all made new layers, and I totally understand why. So therefore my first attempt actually failed pretty hard, because I made everything just one layer, and I tried. After a while I figured out why they use so many different layers. It's just because on one hand, with your layers, if you do these all on one layers, you're not able to change your boxes anymore. If you do all different sorts of layers, then you're able to change your boxes and all that stuff. So it's better to do to make it on many layers, but I'm going to do it on one layer. So again, here you see what the zoom did. It looks different than our swirl. So this is pretty cool. I think I'm going to do this furthermore. Now we're going to make one for the description. So I'm going to hurry up a little bit, because I don't want the tutorial to get too long and too boring. Again, we make here a box, then we stroke down and have our little thing right here. So it actually doesn't matter how your gradient looks like. It can also looks like this. I would rather say then it's better if it, looks different and not always the same. So let's just try something different. I'm going to choose a deep blue right now. Maybe scale the pencil a little bit up to 3. 3 is okay. 3. Come on, I want 3. So 3 is okay. So this is totally an experiment. I don't know what it will look like. So yeah, let's just hope it looks good. So again, we have this. So now we're just going to add a little bit more yellow. Right here, a little bit, in the corners. So it also doesn't matter if your pencil is like over your selection. You can see it here, it's half over your selection, but it actually doesn't paint this area here below, so you don't have to worry about that. So again, I'm going to change my colors with this arrow so I can have a nice red to fill in here this black area. And right now we're just again go to filters, blur, motion blur, and what we're going to do now is we're going to check radial again. So maybe a little bit more, about 70 I think looks good. Then you again press the OK button, and it takes a while for it, but you have just here a small selection, so it won't take that much time to do it. So you see it's done. You see the blue doesn't came out very well, so I'm going to do this again. Make here some brushes, and then you just go again filter and motion blur, repeat motion blur here right up. It always makes the filter you do the last, it takes it again, and maybe this looks a little bit better, who knows. Yes, so now we have here a little bit more of our blue purple brush. So I'm going to do it the final time because I didn't think that it looked that good. So you can take your time and do it again. So as I told you, I hurry up a little bit. So this looks okay. I would make these edges a little bit more yellow, but all is up to you. So again, we go with our square select tool. Our corners are still rounded because it just looks the best. So again, we make a box now for our videos. So you won't see the videos after I did that. Again, we take our gradient tool, stroke down like this or whatever. Oh, I chose, yeah, I have to change that. So my foreground color was the blue, so you see here that I have something like a blue gradient. So going to stroke down to get a red, a nice looking red, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more, so that's enough. So what you can also do is you get again some brushes. So now painting this more red, change it again, make here some more yellow. So what you can also do is go to filter and you go motion blur, and you can also let's just say we make this again radial. But I'm going to show you now some sort of, yeah, it's actually not a special trick, but something I figured out what also would look cool. So we make just here a radial motion blur. So it looks again like this. Some sort of. So you see it looks again like this. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to change the color again to our little purple thing here, and we just make some things like this. And now we go to again on filter, blur, motion blur, but now we check zoom. So we had two filters. The first was the motion blur set on radial, and now we check the motion blur on zoom. So this will take a little bit longer, but I think that you know, it just makes this box a little bit cooler. I think it looks pretty nice when you do different you know, different motion blurs, radial or zoom. You can also, you know, add some lightning effects. I'm going to show you how you can add lightning effects, although it's pretty hard to add here some lightning effects. So yeah, see you when the thing is. So after it took me some time, but yeah, it looks something like this. So you know, we just had to do the motion blur on radial first and all that stuff. So now we have only one thing left. It's up here, and yet again we're going to take our square tool again, and this will be actually our last box. So let's just get started right away. Again, we select this area, and yeah, it actually doesn't matter how it looks on the left side, because here you can't actually see your background, because there's some sort of sidebar. I don't know, maybe some more. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just going to get like a normal zoom. So this is nothing special right now. Maybe some brushes, because otherwise it, you know, doesn't look. Again, we have to scale it a little bit. About 1 should be enough for this. Yes. So again, I'm changed the color. So here we will get some yellow, and on the other side we will get some red. And then again we just go to our blur, motion blur, and our zoom right here, and we click on OK. Then it looks like this. Maybe we do it again, so this will make the effect look better and better. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. Maybe some more yellow here, but you know, I just going to show you the basic steps. What you're gonna do is totally up to you. So now our YouTube design looks some sort of okay, but what we're going to do now that we have all our boxes right now is we want to get our background. So now we have this little space thing here. So again, we click here to make a new layer. Yeah, the image is actually correct, so we can uncheck this layer, uncheck this layer. Yeah, we have to check that layer.